Hello everyone, Mr. Stevens here. We're starting a new unit today, all about something called reasoning in geometry. And these first three lessons that we're going to do in this unit are going to look a little bit different to what you're used to. Okay? Everything we're going to do for the next three videos falls under this title, learning goal and success criteria. And I want you to put this at the top of your page, and then I'm going to give you a separate video for each point in the success criteria. Okay, so you're going to see this slide at the start of the next three videos, but I only want you to write it down once, right now. Pause the video if you need to, and copy down everything that's on this slide. Okay, so what we're doing first, guys, is we're dealing with this first point in the success criteria. So underneath everything you've written down here, you can write drawing angles. Let's talk about how we draw angles. The first thing we need to draw any angle is we need 3 points, and we have them here. The points are usually labeled with a capital letter. And if we join these points, like we have in the second diagram, we actually form 2 angles. Now, I think most of you will have intuitively seen this angle that we form, but it's important to note that we're also making an angle around here as well. So I want you to copy down this diagram into your notes and make sure you highlight both of the angles that are formed in this diagram. The other thing you need to include in your notes is this. We sometimes call this point, the pointy part of the angle, the vertex. Okay, and the plural is vertices. I want you to have this line written down somewhere in your book and some way to remind yourself that this is what the vertex is. Okay, one more thing we need to talk about as we're introducing angles is we need to make sure that we understand how to talk about angles when they're written down. So this symbol here that you're going to see a lot on this line is the symbol usually used to denote an angle in writing. Now this first one is fairly straightforward, I think. We have the angle symbol and then we have the letter C. That's just telling us about the angle here at point C. But all of these 4 other ways of writing an angle are actually talking about the exact same angle, this one right here. Okay, and the way we read all 4 of these actually is we have the angle symbol that starts at point A, goes through point C, and comes to point B. And that's exactly what happens here. If we start at point A, go down this line to point C, and down this line to point B, we've formed this angle. And it can work in the reverse as well. Angle BCA means we start at B, go up to C, and then up to A. Both of them mean the exact same angle, this one right here. And this is probably the most common method you'll see of writing down an angle. But I want you to be aware that these 2 are also a possibility. Instead of having the angle symbol out the front of the letters, you'll have the 3 letters, and the middle one will have a little hat on it. But it works the same way. It means the angle formed between points A, C, and B, or the angle formed between points B, C, and A. The other way we can talk about an angle is we can give it a letter or a symbol. And in this case, we've used X, but a lot of times the symbol we give an unknown angle is this one. This is called, sorry, let me write it correctly. This is called theta. It's a Greek letter, and it is very commonly used to represent an unknown angle. Okay, one more thing we need to quickly go over is remind ourselves of the different names we give to different sizes of angles. We have an acute angle that's between 0 and 90. A right angle is exactly 90. An obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. A straight line is exactly 180 degrees. And a reflex angle is between 180 and 360. And last but not least, a revolution is a full 360 degrees. So if I come down to the next slide here, I'm going to get you guys to, instead of just copying down this table, we're going to, in our example, draw some of these angles. An acute angle, and if you like, you can not wait for me to draw them. You can just go ahead and draw all 4 of these angles in your books right now. An acute angle is an angle between 0 and 90. It should look something like this. A reflex angle, we can actually use the same set of lines and include our reflex angle on it like that. Or if we want to draw our own reflex angle over here, it's just any angle that's bigger than 180, but not quite a full revolution. So I'm going to draw a reflex angle like that. If we come down here, an obtuse angle is an angle that's bigger than 90, but not quite a straight line. And the way we draw a revolution is we put a line. Doesn't matter which way our line faces, it can face any way. And at one end of the line, we put a full revolution. All of these represent full revolutions. Okay, so let's check back in with our success criteria. What we should be able to do after watching this video is right angles using different types of notation. And you're going to now answer a couple of questions using the skills we learned in this video. And then after you've done that, there are going to be 2 more videos for you to learn the skills in the rest of the success criteria. So you can get started on this video's questions. Thanks, guys.